In the world of wrestling, it may take two to tango, but it takes three to make a match complete. Because every wrestling match needs a referee. The referees are there to lay down the law and keep everything clean, but as we all should know as wrestling fans, that doesn't always happen. Allow me to show you some of the best cases of referees fighting back. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 10. WCW vs WWF. Let's be honest here for a second, alright? Whether you loved it or hated it, the rivalry between WWF and WCW was one of the best points in wrestling history. It was the peak of the Attitude Era, it was the first time in a long time when WWF had serious competition, and it demanded the best of them. And because of that, we got a long feud, loads of memorable moments, and the rise of many stars. However, due to financial reasons, WCW got bought out, and that led to a rather unique moment between the refs. As you'll see here, there was a match going on with representatives of the WCW and WWF referees. And when one of the WWF referees got kicked out of the ring, the WCW ones decided that they were going to get some shots in. But the WWF referees that were there didn't allow that to happen. This moment is cool for a whole host of reasons. First and foremost, usually the referees don't get all of this attention, which is fine because they're not the stars of the matches most of the times. But when the WWF referees come to the aid of their friend, the crowd seriously pops, which is a sign that the fans are really into this. And that could be an even better victory than the sequence itself. Number 9. Don't Test Me. If you look at the history of wrestling, there are a lot of classic moves when it comes to the referees. Some of them are meant to show that they are indeed in charge and that they need to be respected, while others are more along the line of, I'm a heel and I know it, now deal with it. In this case, there was a tag team title match going on, and the wrestler known as Test tried to cheat to win by putting his foot on the ropes to help him seal the victory. But as most refs should, he was caught, and the ref chewed him out for it. Test was not pleased with this and started to stalk the ref, leading to him pushing the ref into the ropes. A good move, but the ropes bounced the ref forward, and the ref decided to push Test back as a result. When he did, it sent Test into the clutches of his opponent Taz, who got him in a submission hold, causing Test to tap out and lose the match. So, the tag team title change happened because of the ref. Like I said, classic move. Number 8. That should have been all of it. Another one of the classic moves in terms of the referees is when a ref is doing the count, 1, 2, 3. But just before 3, someone pulls the ref out of the ring in order to stop the count, and thus save the match from being over. It happens a lot in WWE and other promotions, and while at times it is cheap, it honestly does do a good job of keeping the match going and building up the intrigue. In a match between The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock had just hit a big move and should have had the match won. But just as the ref was about to count 3, another ref came out, dragged him out of the ring, and smacked him unconscious before inserting himself into the match. Clearly he had thoughts about how the match should go. Number 7. CM Punk'd out. CM Punk is one of the most famous and infamous wrestlers in the history of wrestling, especially because of his run in WWE, where he literally changed the game because of his pipe bomb and various other vignettes that he did during his run. But most people agree that he was at his best when doing a heel gimmick, such as one time that he was put into a match with referee Scott Armstrong. Punk was the champion at the time, and he tried to straight up humiliate Armstrong, but after a smack to the face, Armstrong had had enough. He straight up punched Punk and then did it 2 more times for good measure. This was loved by the fans and the announcers, and while it eventually would turn CM Punk's way, Armstrong did at least show that refs aren't punks. Number 6. Earls Win. We've already shown you a few times that the refs of WWE and WCW have gone at it, but one time they really went at it via a match with the head of the WWE refs versus the head of the WCW refs. The match was anything but a classic, but it did have a few good moments, including Earl Hebner ramming himself into his rival ref to get the pin. It was quick, it was cheesy, but hey, it worked and the crowd loved it. And in the end, isn't that what matters in the wrestling biz? Number 5. Doing it with Flair. Whether you want to believe it or not, refs honestly do have rules that they need to make wrestlers follow when it comes to officiating matches. And during tag team bouts, only one person from the team can be in at a time outside of a few instances. During WCW Nitro, Ric Flair was in a tag team match and decided to illegally enter the ring without being tagged in. When he did that, referee Randy Anderson decided to get involved physically to ensure that Rick got back in the corner. Rick started to get physical with the ref, so the ref went into a shoving match with Flair and almost knocked him over as a result. Flair went back to his corner afterwards. Don't mess with the ref. Number 4. Extreme Refs. The brand known as ECW was all about having some extreme moments, and they weren't afraid to have their refs be a part of the action if they thought the fans would love it. And most times, they did. During a match, 3 referees were in the ring and were trying to do their jobs, but one was begging for a fight with the other 2. Unfortunately for him, one of the women's wrestlers didn't like him, low-blowed him, and then the other refs teamed up to DDT him. Number 3. Order. Earl Hebner has been a long-time ref in the WWE and beyond, and in this classic moment he proved that the refs are supposed to mean something. Triple H was refusing to let go of a move, and so Earl forcefully pushed him off of his opponent. Then, when Shane McMahon, son of boss Vince McMahon, tried to assert his authority and get Earl to concede to his power, Earl pushed him off the apron. You go, Earl. Number 2. Refs on refs. What's better than a referee fighting off wrestlers? A corrupt referee getting what he deserves. Take it away, guys. Number 1. The ref's elbow. Okay, there is one thing better than a corrupt referee getting the business, and that's the refs getting their time to shine with the blessing of a wrestler. During one match, a referee had gotten roughed up during a match, and The Rock decided that since his opponent was done for anyway, to let the ref get some satisfaction by doing one of his signature moves, the People's Elbow, except this time, it was the ref's elbow. How electrifying.
I have seen it all.
And there it is. A look at the times that referees got involved in matches and fought back against those that tried to put them down. Can you believe some of the things that the refs did during the wrestling matches? Which of these was your favorite moment? Do you know another that should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.